All right, let's start our discussion of subnetting from the very beginning. You have to understand how the internet works, how addressing works, if you're going to understand anything at all about subnetting. Okay. Let's say we've got a small home office. We've got a few people working there, and we'd like to give them internet access, but our ISP coming through our little Linksys router only gives us one address. Now, they're not going to give us a Class C address, but let's assume for the time being that we got address 192.168.1.0/24. That's my address that I got from my ISP. So let's look at this address in binary. In binary, it's going to be, let me come over a little bit, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 168 is going to be 10101.000. 1 is obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, of course, and then 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, you should be familiar with subnet masks. You're already familiar with prefixes because I've been beating that into you for a few lectures. But a prefix is nothing more than a shorthand way of describing a subnet mask. 24 bits. Subnet mask, the bit is on. So this is our address we were given. And the subnet mask that comes with that is 1111111111111100000000. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's the subnet mask. How we get our network address is by ANDing. Okay, there was discussion on ANDing in the curriculum. ANDing. 1 plus a 1 equals a 1. 1 plus a 0 equals a 0. 0 plus a 1 equals a 0. Okay? 0 plus a 0 equals a 0. So the only way I can get a 1 in my address is if both the network portion, or both the address portion and the subnet mask portion have a 1. Notice here we have a 1 and a 1. So my address is going to have a 1 there. A 1 and a 1, 1. 1 and 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Notice basically anywhere where there's a 1 in the subnet mask, you're just basically recopying the address. Okay? That's the easiest way to look at that, to think about it. Okay. So anyway, we've got this address from my ISP. Now I've got a little problem. I've got another router here, and I want 2 networks. I want some people down here on a network, and I want some people up here on a network. Can I get 2 networks with 1 IP address? Pause. This is Jeopardy, sort of. No, you can't. I need 2 networks. I've only got 1 address. This is where we get into subnetting now. I cannot touch this address. That is from my ISP. This whole thing here says down to here, I may not touch. That's my network address. These are my host bits. I can have 0 through 255 in this value here. So I can have a bunch of hosts, but I want to divide those hosts up. I want to divide them up into 2 different networks. Okay. So how can I get 2 different numbers without touching this? Well, let's see what happens if I just steal 1 bit, right there, that bit. That bit can be either 0 or 1. Okay? I've now got 2 different numbers that I can get if I steal this bit. So I can get actually network addresses. If that stays a 0, I can use this 192.168.1.0 slash, though, becomes 25. I'm now using 25 bits to define my network address. Okay? Host bits are still all off. So there's one network. But now what if I turn this bit on? I haven't changed the network address from my ISP, but I've changed this. Now this is 192.168.1.128. The bit positional value of that bit is 128/25. I've got two different networks. Okay. Now remember our discussion on calculating addresses. We actually can calculate the range of these networks now simply by saying, here's my network. My lowest address in either case is going to be one higher than this number. So my lowest address here, let's get rid of the 128 for a minute. My lowest host address here is going to be, let's use a different color, 192.168.1.1. Okay, if I turn that bit on. Now, remember the broadcast was we're still dealing with a 0 here. Now remember, if I turn all of these bits on, these are the host bits, I get my broadcast address. Remember, we just did an example with that in calculating address video, where that became 127. So I know that my broadcast for this network is 192.168.1.127. And remember how we found our highest address? It was one lower than that, 126. So that means my usable addresses here, if we squeeze that in the middle, are anywhere from .1 to .126. .127 is my broadcast. Okay? Now let's look at the next situation here where we actually turn this bit on. Okay. So let's turn this bit on. Now I have a case where I'm getting an address of 192.168.1.128. The bit positional value there is 128. Let me write this for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay? So that highest bit positional value in that byte is 128. So my network now becomes 192.168.1.128 slash 25. We're still at slash 25. Okay, my broadcast would be turning, well, my lowest address is 192.168.1. What? I'm going to just turn on that low order bit like I did up there, right? So if I turn that bit on, what have I got in that last byte? I've got 1 plus 128, 129. My lowest address is always going to be one higher than my network address. My broadcast address is going to be 192.168.1. What? Okay, well, if I turn all of the host bits on, all of these host bits on, and this bit is on, that's all 8 bits are on. All 8 bits equal to 1, 255. So my broadcast is going to be 255, which makes my last usable address One less than that, 254. So, how did I do that here? I did that, and then the hosts. Okay, so my hosts here go from dot 129 to dot 254. So there's my two networks. All I did was take one bit away from the number of hosts I can have. And I got two completely different networks. Okay? In the next video, we're going to expand that. We're going to go to stealing 2 bits and then stealing 3 bits. So come on back for that, part 2.